Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online, and I'm doing a little bit of exploration. So, as I find a Savage Nation occupied mining colony, let's get in there and let's talk a little bit about the September patch that has been deployed. I mean, really, I don't notice anything all too major. This is also a missile boat, so we're not going to be able to view the new effects, maybe on the lasers from the Saint-Charat. One thing that I do note, of course, is that the market ticker is here, so you can see that one running. And I haven't found how you could like make it display different types of goods on this one, but one thing to note is that it doesn't bug out, but whenever you hover over it with your mouse, the scrolling actually stops. But if you guys know where you can actually put different stuff on it, then definitely let me know in the comments. I do see that you can just toggle it on and off like that, so that's actually pretty damn easy. Other than that, yeah, we're eagerly awaiting the expansion, of course. It's not like I'm going to invest in the new skills, which are all tied to the new refineries, but that's really only for nullsec and lowsec at the moment, and also for wormhole space, because you can do reactions there as well. And other than that, there's not really that much to report. This is more of a preparatory patch, I think. So let's target some frigates for the winter expansion. So another thing that I do want to touch on is all the CO2 drama. So this is actually the day where I read that the judge, who is apparently a diplomat for CO2, I'm not sure if he had like director roles or something like that, but he stole a lot of stuff. Oh, and I should actually recall these guys before they get overly targeted. So the judge, who is like a director, I think he's described always as a diplomat, stole like probably 1.5 trillion ISK from CO2, sold structures to their enemies, to the goons and to test, I believe it is. And of course, the whole subreddit for EVE Online was ablaze with everything that was happening there. So I'll quickly give you guys my personal perspective. First of all, this is one of the reasons why I choose to stay independent. But personally, I had a lot of respect for CO2, because from what I've read about them, they were a little bit, you know, thinking outside of the box, willing to go into conflicts, willing to start conflicts as well, and not always going the diplomatic route. And so, from that perspective, I do think that this is going to be a loss for the game. Of course, the leader of the Alliance Geeks, you know, starting like personal threats for outside the game, that is something that you just shouldn't do. Although I can sort of understand that this was like a really heated moment for him, and that it sort of, you know, just was inevitable that he would put out some comments that he would then regret. But yeah, it's inexcusable, and so I think he has been banned from the game. So yeah, it's something like that does have a lot of fallout, but for me it does remind me of certain aspects of EVE Online that you should never forget. And a big one is, you know, just the base rule: don't fly what you can't afford to lose. And in that sense, you should also make sure that you never really like build up and get invested to such a degree that you feel like you can't lose what you've built up in EVE Online. And in this case, something like, you know, one of the major alliances in EVE. I understand that this is going to be like a pretty bad time for the people that lose everything there. But yeah, that's all part of EVE Online. And you basically have to remind yourself that this is a game. And I think that most of us play games to have fun, to relax, and not to take everything all too seriously. And so even in the most extreme, like right here, this is what EVE Online is all about. And yeah, I just think that even if like the personal out-of-game threats just slipped in a heated moment, it just should never have happened. It's still a game, and always try to keep your cool. And so yeah, for me, you know, a little bit of a reminder that I want to stay independent. I want to be able to do my own thing on my own time, and I don't want to have such an investment in the game and also in other players that would then trust me and count on me, that it could all be taken away, and I would like feel really guilty and feel really bad about it, for instance, about making mistakes, maybe trusting the wrong people, things like that. It's a position that I personally am very wary of, and that I don't want to have happen to me. And it's the exact same thing for my channel, actually. This is still a hobby for me. This is something that I do because I enjoy it. This is something that I do for fun. And yeah, that basically the whole CO2 drama for me. I think it's just gonna be a very harsh reminder, but I think it's a necessary one from time to time, that you have to make sure that you enjoy what you're doing in the game, and that also means being willing to lose all of it to the EVE Online sandbox, if that's what happens, without feeling the need to take it out of games. So I hope that all of you guys, and including probably do have some viewers in CO2, can actually get past this. This would be the most incredible comeback story ever if CO2 could actually at some point come back from this. But yeah, just you know, EVE Online is a game. Make sure that you have fun in the game, and when you feel like maybe you're taking on too much stuff, too much responsibility, it becomes too much work, be willing to take that step back. It's basically constantly what I do as well. I try to balance my activities in the game, on the channel, in such a way that I know that I can keep going, that I'm still having fun, and that I'm not going to burn out or feel like I lost so much work because of the nature of the sandbox. And it's something to be careful about, because in those moments you do I can understand how people can then get extremely angry, and they say things that they end up regretting or not meaning. You can't read minds, but in this case I do think that there's a very high chance that that's basically what happened here, and that actually cost Geeks a ban. So yeah, the drama in EVE Online, it basically never stops. Right now everything is going to be about the blue donut. Personally, I am curious to see what the fallout of all of this is going to be, and how Nullsec is going to evolve after this. But we are finishing off the first room in this 4 out of 10, so that means pretty soon we'll be heading for the second room, and I will see if Bob or the Loot Fairy is looking down on us and smiling. So let's go. Sentium Torturer, return to drone bay, a quick reload, and let's go. I didn't exactly take a good look at the lasers, but I do think that they felt less overwhelming. So some people don't like it, don't like the effect that much, because it's just quite toned down compared to the previous effects. But I personally do like it. Lasers shouldn't be all too flashy. It's all about effectiveness, and that means that they're usually pretty small. And so I actually like the new effect. So let's target the True Sasha here. Grab him, approach him, fire some missiles in his general direction, add some drones, and then I think we'll start out here at range, and then at the right time we'll try to sneak in and grab that loot. I've done a couple more of these, and this True Sasha Foreman, sometimes his tank is well, pretty extremely strong. Actually sometimes need to be careful when I make my move towards him, because if I do so too early, they are actually starting to work on the last 30% of my shields, which is not exactly what you want. So I think we'll just have one volley. We're at 30 kilometers, so this should take a nice chunk of his armor again. So we'll do one burst of the micro updrive, but there we go. Now he starts repping, and now I think things will be slowing down a little bit, unless, come on, yeah, half structures. That's good. At 17 kilometers, we'll need one more, I think. Let's do that. Full structures, but there we go. There we go. Again, with the repping, you can see this True Sasha Foreman. He tanks pretty well. Again, look at that. Just a sliver of structure. Finally, he blows up just as I arrive, so I should be able to grab this. Loot all. Unfortunately, Bob isn't smiling on me for this side, but I can go off to a planet, and this time, yeah, the tank was never challenged. And so this is what you want to do. You don't want to rush in straight on the True Sancha and be at 0 on him right from the start, because then you're right in the middle of all their optimals, and your shield tank will actually get tested quite a bit more than this. So this is a bit more optimal. I'm still learning, I'm still enjoying exploration, definitely. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.